Hey everybody, how's it going today? I'm going to start talking about fats. I've been studying a lot, watching a lot of the videos lately about fats and just kind of some of the background, and really I want to talk about something really kind of disgusting about them that I wanted to make sure I got out sooner than later about them. So when we talk about fats, there's good fats, there's bad fats, everybody knows that. And what I've learned is that way back in 1911, there wasn't any heart attacks or something. That's like when the first recorded heart attack occurred, 1911, 1921. And they started increasing, and so the medical field decided, hey, we need to figure out why there's so many heart attacks. So they came up with two hypotheses. One was because we had gotten away from eating saturated fats, and now today, if you think about what they're advertising and what they're talking about on TV, saturated fats are the good fats. But what are those? Those are the animal fats that they told us a while ago, back in the 70s and 80s, stay away from. So one of the hypotheses is we got away from that, we should go back with that. The other hypothesis is that we're eating too much fat and we need to go to start eating these trans fats, artificial, well, they're oils that are made artificially into other products. That's when margarine, Crisco, all that came about. In fact, did you know that Crisco was actually a failure on an attempt to make soap? So if you ever cook with that, then you understand now what you're eating. So with the margarines, and this is where I really kind of started getting my stomach turned on this stuff, was that stuff is hydrogenated oils. So you take an oil, which is like sunflower oil, vegetable oil, or something. So here's the process and what they do. And you have to be careful, because if you look, it's still in a lot of ingredients. And the reason that they discovered this, or the reason they started creating hydrogenated oils, was because it gives a longer shelf life to products that they put on the shelf for sale. So it lasts longer. And if you think about it, now they're putting this artificial product into there. So they're taking a liquid, they're making it into a solid form, a semi-solid form. That's what hydrogenated process does. It takes the liquid, puts it into this form, and then it gives it this shelf life, which is a longer shelf life. So things like crackers, they can leave on the shelf forever because they have this stuff in it. So here's the kicker. How's this stuff made? So they take these oils, and the first thing they do is they add nickel to it. And if you read anything about nickel, high levels of nickel are very bad for you. But they put nickel in it. Why do they do that? Because they're going to end up putting hydrogen, thus hydrogenated. They're going to put hydrogen in there, and hydrogen needs to bond with a metal before it will stick. So in this process, for the hydrogen to stay, to become a hydrogenated oil, it has to stick to a metal. So they put nickel in, and then they raise the temperature, so they really heat the stuff up, and under tons of pressure, then they force hydrogen in. The hydrogen then bonds with the nickel, and now we're starting about a chemical process that's taking these liquids into this semi-solid form. If you think about margarine, that's what we're talking about. It won't melt sitting out on your counter. It will get very soft, but it doesn't go back to a liquid form unless it's heated. So once that process is done, what they have, and this is where you really need to pay attention, they have a gray liquid that is rancid smelling, because now they've cooked the heck out of this oil. They've put nickel into it, they've infused it with hydrogen, so you have this rancid gray liquid. That's what's left. Then what do? They bleach it. So they add bleach. So now we have nickel and bleach. They add bleach into there so that it clears the color, because who's going to want to buy this grayish? If you think about pewter, nickel, there's a kind of a dull silver color, and you're not going to want to eat that. It doesn't look good when you put it on your muffins or pancakes. So you have this, they bleach it so it gets rid of that. Now you have this clear liquid. Well, when that's solid, you don't want that, so they add artificial colors and flavorings. So hydrogenated oils, hydrogenated products, that's the process. And if you think about now, next time you go to buy, I can't believe it's not butter or something, look at the label, and if it has hydrogenated something on there, that's what they're putting in your food. So when people start asking about clean eating and how I can not go eat these other things, it's because I'm learning stuff like that. And when I think about eating something that has that on there, it kind of turns my stomach and doesn't really make me want to eat it. And I think, man, no wonder I feel like junk when I'm eating this stuff, right? Because I'm eating, in reality, what was a rancid gray matter, liquid, that's been bleached. So I would suggest read the labels, find out what's in the food that you really are eating, and understand at least that part of it. So it turns my stomach, it's helped me like push away a lot of the stuff that maybe I was thinking, and I haven't had a lot of cravings, but maybe I was like, man, that sounds like it would be good, or I miss having that, and I really don't. Some of the other things that I'm going to get into about fats coming up are some of the reasons why people aren't losing weight, even though they're doing tons of stuff right. And I applaud everybody again. I'm getting a lot of feedback, a lot of questions, a lot of comments, a lot of good messages going back and forth with people. And I am so grateful that other people have committed to doing that. Again, my commitment is if I learn something, that's that uncashed check that's sitting on my dresser. I want to go spend that, and that's pushing the information out so that if you're struggling, hey, I've been working out, I've been eating right, I've been doing all these things, and I'm still not losing weight. I would think you need to start looking at some of these things I'm putting out. I'm going to put out more about fats because it's so important, because I think forever we've been told, fat is bad, I'm going to cut out all the fat. If you do that, you're actually hurting yourself, because you need that fat. You need fat intake to help you burn the fat that's stored in your body. I'll help make sense of that. I'll help make sense of why so many people are kind of, what I'm going to tell you is out of balance with a lot of this stuff. And I'll tell you on how I've been kind of looking at fixing some of that. But today I wanted to make sure I stuck in an image. The next time you go to buy some of that fake butter, or look at the back of some of the stuff, the packages that you eat, and look for hydrogenated products on there. And just think about, they've added nickel, they've overheated it, it's become this gray, rancid smelling. So to me, they got to bleach it, that's taking the smell out of it, that's clearing the color, and then they add a bunch of artificial, and who knows what that stuff's made out of, right? I mean, now we're talking about a whole bunch of different chemicals that we really don't know how that's affecting us. But I do. I'm going to tell you, it's messing us all up. And that's why I feel like, my weight loss, as quickly as it's been able to happen, is because I'm cutting this stuff out, and because I'm learning about it and understanding that it is just not healthy for you. It's very bad for your body. And I'll talk about some of the way these trans fats, and that's what it turns into. It turns into a trans fat, and that has all to do with the way they put heat in there and restructure the molecular build of these cells. But that'll come later. So today, think about rancid smelling gray liquid material. That's what we've been putting in our bodies. That's what they're preserving. A lot of the processed foods that we've been eating. So hope that helps. Hopefully it stirs at least one person to think about and read labels, and we'll get further into fats over the next couple videos that I make. Anyways, take care. Have a great day. I appreciate you watching.